Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tim Knight, back with more of The Uncomfortable Truth. I am yet on the road, and shout out to everybody that's, has liked the videos. Of course, when you're building a channel and trying to build an audience, it takes work, dedication. So what I'm going to do to help that process along is, and because it's the holiday season for those who celebrate that, I'm going to give away a free autographed copy of my book, The Uncomfortable Truth, to the 100th subscriber. So faster I can get there, the faster I'm giving away that book. In the meantime, you can pick it up on your own. But what I want to talk about today is the fact that as we look at the world and we see this great conjunction that just took place, we realize that we're in a critical time. It's a time for people to realize that the quote-unquote elites, or the people that so-called run this world, they're moving into another level of debauchery, if I would say a word. And it's not really funny at all. I'm smiling. It's what they call nervous laughter, right? It's not really good. But the reality is we still have a level of control that we have not taken advantage of, right? And how do they assess this power from us? When they can keep us in a lower state of vibration, and I know that might sound like new age to some people, but it is what it is. But when they can keep us in a constant state of fear, worry, when they can control our actions, control whether we go in or out of our homes, also stores, being able to buy, sell, participate in the normal activities of life, then they have taken control, right? And that's a dangerous thing, to give up our control to 1% of people who are operating in the shadows, which are ultimately controlled by demonic forces. And yes, if you think about it, even in the Bible days, when Jesus or Yeshua was on the earth, he was casting out demons. So of course, if he was doing it in his day, we're still dealing with demons today. And they're still manipulating this world system to have us in a place of constantly fighting with each other, to the point to where just basic dignity is being replaced with complete lawlessness in some areas. We've become a society that is that do without wilt mentality. Do whatever you want to do regardless of how it affects other people, when the truth is everything that we do impacts others one way or the other. So my hope is that we take our power back. We take our control. We don't allow ourselves to be manipulated by people who could care less about you and your well-being or the future of this country. So that's why there's always some constant debate. You got the Democrats, they're pro this, and the Republicans are pro that. In the meantime, you have people like us in the middle that are getting shafted. You also have people that are losing their homes, people that's unemployed based on this situation that they created. This is not happenstance that this whole C-19 situation is taking place. This was by design to usher in this new age movement in which they have total control. That's just the bottom line. That's the uncomfortable truth, right? That's the uncomfortable truth, folks, is that they want to take full control of your mind, body, and soul if you allow them. So what can we do? Because I'm about being a problem solver, not so much just harping on the problems, because that's evident to some of us. Even though a lot of us have been asleep for a long time, I believe that this is an age where you're going to find out what's really going on. You're going to find out. Now, what you do with it is up to you, but it's going to be made known to mankind. The agenda is going to become very unequivocally clear as to what this was all about. And if we continue to sit back and stop practicing basic human rights, basic care for our fellow brother and sister, and if we don't allow ourselves to push past these differences and elevate into a level of love, just basic love for mankind, then they will ultimately achieve their agenda. That's not a position I want to be in. That's not a world I want to live in, right? You have Elon Musk, he's out there talking about basically creating chips to insert into your brain, okay, so that they can, of course, monitor your functions. But of course, the reality is that they're going to utilize that to basically control you. That's why if you get this shot with these nanoparticles and this mRNA and all these different things, it's going to be triggered by that 5G technology. So when we were in the house the first time, and that's what they were doing. If you look around your town, your city, wherever you live, you should notice that there are these 5G towers already put up. And so, of course, that's has been researched, as I talk about in my book, how they have actually, that's weaponry, right? They have weaponized that technology. But that is ultra dangerous levels of radiation that's going to be coming out there that's going to impact those of us who are unchipped, but most certainly those who have been chipped, because they're going to be able to tap into certain frequencies in your mind based on the technology that's coming through that shot, right? So they're basically going to have us like little monkeys and imps and doing whatever that they desire for us to do. I mean, it has something in there that's called luciferase. So eventually they'll be able to just scan your arm, and then they'll be able to see, all digitally, whether all the vital information pertaining to you. So that's a lot to say, and it's a lot to unpack. But the bottom line is, folks, that we need to wake up, start loving on each other, put aside these differences. You don't have to agree to be civil. So that is my quote-unquote Christmas wish, is that we learn to love each other and become civil and try to reason with each other, that we disconnect from this machine, which is this internet all the time. Our phones, they basically reprogrammed everyone to be completely dependent upon their phone for a source of communication and companionship, as opposed to building real, valuable, lasting relationships with people like we had in the past. So it's time for us to reestablish those relationships. Break the bonds that has been placed on us. We got to break those chains. One way or the other, we have to really learn to ascend higher than this lower level of thought. We have to just, it's trying to find the best words, but it's hard to express the dire need for us to really take some type of force of action against this foolishness. And we can't just allow ourselves to be beat down by this oppressive system, because our children's children, they're dependent upon what we do today. That's why I'm using my voice, regardless of how many people are watching this video right now. I pray that it gets to the masses, but at least I'm doing something. I'm putting a work out there into the world that will hopefully inspire one person to consider how they're living and also why they're living. And furthermore, the life they want their children to live. So it is imperative for us to focus on creating the life that we want to see. So when you pray, don't just be praying for the things that you want and need, but we should also be praying for the collective whole of mankind. If you want to be blessed, then you should also be praying that others are also blessed. That way they don't have to rob and take from you. If everyone gets into the state of mind to where we all should be able to share in the blessings of life, it's going to be a better place. But as long as we keep this dog-eat-dog mentality, this crabs in the barrel mentality, not willing to share our experiences, our time, and our talent to help elevate the culture, we're going to continue to get what we've gotten, but ultimately it's going to lead us to a world that's worse than what we even know now. So I know this was a lot. This is a pretty heavy message for quote unquote Christmas, but going into this new year, we have to really be cognizant of what's taking place. Wake up. Let's do better. Let's love each other. Let's focus and keep our minds fixated on what it is that we want to achieve, not only for ourselves, but for everyone. I'll leave you on that note. You guys have a blessed day and take care.